idea of the near frontier and far frontier, and maybe that's a parameter we can start with. I've made the supposition that if the Earth is an expanding bubble of life and human exploration and potentially settlement, that we've been as far as the moon, and that that's the edge of the bubble right now, and that from the edge of that bubble inward is what I call the near frontier, and then there's the far frontier. In the near frontier, it makes more and more sense as you get closer to the Earth for the private sector to take over the operational jobs that were, shall we say, pioneered by the Lewis and Clarks of NASA. And then in the far frontier, it makes more sense to pool our resources in the form of taxes, and that the further out you get, the more sense it makes to do those kinds of cultural missions. And then when you get hardcore, and one of the things that we're about in the foundation is sort of the assertion that NASA's exploration job starts essentially in LEO now. And the idea that you could take commercial transportation to LEO, and that's where things start for us. So that's the premise that I work from. And it really upsets people because they always want to believe in ET and life throughout the universe. But I go with an empirical premise that there's only one planet we know of that has life. And we're sitting on it. And that makes taking care of this planet really important. And you can then extend that to say that maybe it's our mission to take life to worlds now dead. It's one of my favorite phrases. And, you know, I think that this false dichotomy, I'm a moon person, I'm a Mars person, screw that. I mean, it's really not true. You know, it's all of the above. It's all of the above. If we get the right infrastructure built, and this is one reason I support the President's initiative, if we can get the right coastal infrastructure built on the deep ocean of space, then we can go anywhere and we can stay everywhere. And we can go to all of these destinations and do all of these kinds of things. And that, to me, is the goal. It's a matter of each one of us going out and doing what we want to do. We just have to decide. Again, I got to go back to the decision because everything else is driven by that. We have to decide, just as Chris was talking about, that the Antarctic Directorate there are decisions and everything trickles down from that. And then there's a decision culturally above that we want permanence in our science and that we want settlement in our culture. And the two go together and they can be leveraged off of each other. But that decision hasn't been made at the top level. We're kind of working from the bottom up or the middle sideways on this stuff. And, you know, because again, it dictates the structures of the entity. Like he was talking about the National Science Foundation stuff. It dictates everything that trickles down from there. If we have a national law that says human settlement is the law of the land on the one side, and in the science community that we want permanent outposts on the moon and Mars and somebody may be attached to an NEO, and you put those two together, I think amazing things could happen.